Okay, accept friend to join. In the last meeting, the particular recording was not there. They are showing some error in recording. Okay, that's why I have to close that. Okay, for the recording, I again have to start from the beginning. Okay, so good afternoon, students. This is a class of professional practice, law and ethics. So we have almost complete or we have almost covered all the topic under the syllabus of professional practice law and ethics. So today I'm going to share one informative video related to intellectual property rights, okay, and India. Intellectual property rights related to India, okay. So I hope it will be helpful for you, even for your exam point of view. And that particular video is already shared with you in WhatsApp. I hope it's already with you. But anyway, I'm going to share the video right now. Okay, and after that, I'll take your attendance. The video time will be around 15 to 14-15 minutes. Okay, let's wait for 1 minute. Let's see anybody can join or not. Last class PDF. Okay, related to which subject? Last class PDF, I forgot what we discussed. Related to your professional, that one, intellectual property rights. Okay, if you're asking about notes related to your intellectual property right, okay, it's all notes you will get from the video only. Okay, it's I'm giving this work to you to prepare your own notes based for particularly the last topic. Okay, that means your intellectual property rights related to the labor law. All are is given to you in student portal, but for these intellectual property rights, how many rights are available to safeguard your intellectual property? All these things you can take it as assignment. Okay, you can take it as assignment. You have to prepare your own notes for this particular last topic. Okay, and for your guidance or for your reference, I'm sharing the video. Okay, from the particular video also you can collect your or you can prepare your notes. Fine. That means how many types of intellectual property rights are there. Okay, what is trade secrets, what is trademark. Okay, so all these things, how many laws are exist in India related to safeguarding your intellectual property, all these things you will get from this particular video. Okay, okay, then so let's start that. Okay, let me first mute myself. I'm going to mute myself. Okay. Okay, I'm going to play the video right now. Okay, so I'm going to mute myself. If you still have any unclarity or audio problem, then you can just write in chat box. Okay, fine. I will answer in the chat box only. Fine. Is it clear? Okay.
Intellectual property rights and India. Intellectual property rights are a new arena in the modern world today. The world is seeing a tremendous scientific and technological advancements, and as a result, numerous new innovations, methods, processes are being developed day by day. They have a great potential value, and therefore they can generate a great profit or income for the innovators or the creators. They have a relevance and also utility across the regions and the nations in the highly globalized world today. India is no exception to this. In fact, India has to gain much more than many developing countries because of its big skilled population, especially in the information technology and scientific and technological fields in general. Hence, the equal importance of intellectual property for India as well. In this essay, we will explore various dimensions of intellectual property rights, especially in the Indian context. Now let us start with the understanding the meaning and types of intellectual property rights. The types of intellectual properties are patent, trademark, copyright law governing intellectual property. For the intellectual property rights across the world, there is the World Intellectual Property Organization, and it was established by convention in 1967. This World Intellectual Property Organization is a specialized agency of the United Nations. It promotes the protection of intellectual property throughout the world. Its headquarters is in Geneva, Switzerland, and the World Intellectual Property Day is observed on April 26th of every year. There are many big and small intellectual property law firms worldwide, like in India, USA, UK, Chicago, etc., which provide a qualitative help to inventors and creators of products. In India, intellectual property are safely protected and controlled by well-established statutory and judicial framework. Now let us see what is intellectual property as such. Intellectual property is a property that arises from the human intellect. It is a product of human creation. Intellectual property comprises of two distinct forms, that is, literary artistic works and the industrial property. There are books, paintings, musical compositions, plays, movies, radio, TV program, performances, and other artistic work. How are they protected? Intellectual property rights are protected by copyright. Industrial property describes a physical matter that is a product of an idea or a concept for commercial purposes. Now, this industrial property copyrights are protected by patented objects, by trademarks, by industrial designs, by trade secrets, by layout designs, and by geographical indications. The major types of intellectual property rights are the functional and technological innovations, purely artistic works, and a symbol, logo, word, sound, color, and design, etc. The functional and technical inventions are protected by the Patents Act of 1970 as amended in 1999 and 2005, and the Copyright Act of 1987 as amended in 1982, 84, 92, 94, and 99 is protecting a purely artistic works. And the symbol, logo, word, sound, color, etc. they have been protected by Trademark Act of 1999 and subsequently amended till 2000. We are talking about the acts which are presently enforced in India. In India, the Intellectual Property Rights Act has been adopted in 12th May 2016. The policy was formulated after intensive stakeholder consultations with as many as 300 stakeholders and individuals. And for this purpose, an intellectual property rights think tank was there in place, and it involved also 31 departments of the Government of India and also 5 foreign governments with whom we have a close interactions and the transactions. The intellectual property rights policy aim is to make Indians recognize their own intellectual properties as also respect the other intellectual property across the world. The vision statement of the intellectual property policy of India envisages an India where creativity and innovations are stimulated by intellectual property and it should be for the benefit of all. The vision also envisages an India where intellectual property promotes advancement in science and technology, arts and culture, traditional knowledge and biodiversity resources. Further, it believes knowledge owned is transformed into knowledge shared. In this context, the vision statement makes a clarion call, that is, Creative India, Innovative India. The Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, Ministry of Commerce, Government of India have been appointed as the nodal department to coordinate, guide and oversee the implementation and future development of intellectual properties in India. Now let us see the objectives as defined by the vision policy concerning the intellectual property rights in India. The policy of intellectual property rights in India is a comprehensive document that lays down 7 objectives, and they have been elaborated with the actionable steps, and that will be undertaken by the identified nodal ministries or the departments in order to achieve the stated objectives. First of all, one of the main objectives is to create the IPR awareness, that is the outreach and promotion, to create a public awareness about the economic, social and cultural benefits of the intellectual properties rights among all sections of the society. The second objective is the generation of intellectual property rights themselves, that is, to stimulate the generation of IPRs. The objective of the intellectual property rights policy is also to make the legal and legislative framework in order to have a strong, effective IPR laws which balance the interest of rights owners but same time keeping in mind the larger public interest. Another objective of the intellectual property right policy is to have administration and management to modernize and strengthen the service-oriented IPR administration. Further, another objective is to make the commercialization of IPRs, that is, to get value for IPRs through commercialization in a proper manner. One more objective of the policy is to the enforcement and adjudication. This will involve the strengthening the enforcement and adjudicatory mechanisms and the bodies for combating IPR infringements or the copying of IPRs without giving credit for the creators or the innovators. One more aspect of the objective is the human capital development, that is, to strengthen and expand human resources, institutions and capacities, that is for teaching, training, research and skill building in the field of intellectual property rights. Now, having understood the main objectives and policies of the intellectual property rights in India, let us understand the types of intellectual property rights that exist in India. First of all, the patent. Its definition and significance is that a patent is granted for an invention which is a new product or a process involving an inventive step, and it is capable of industrial application. New invention means the subject matter has not fallen in public domain, or that it does not form the part of the state of the art. Now, further inventive step is the feature of the invention that involves a technical advance as compared to the existing knowledge, or having economic significance, or both. And this makes the invention not obvious to a person who is skilled in the art. The patent is also capable of industrial application. This means that the invention is capable of being made or used in an industry. Now, the Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, that is the Controller General of Patents and Designs and Trademarks concerned, is the ministry or the office which administers the IPR, and the IP Act that concerns this aspect is the Patents Act of 1970, and it has been amended in 2005 as well. The next important intellectual property rights in India is a design. As regards its definition and significance, the design refers only to the features of the shape, configuration, pattern, ornamentation, composition of color or line, or a combination of all these things. It is also applied to any article, whether 2 or 3 dimensional or in both forms, by any industrial process. This means in the finished article appeal to, and they are judged solely by the eye. The Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Controller General of Patents, Designs and Trademarks is the ministry which administers the IPR, and the IP Act concerned is the Designs Act of 2000. Trademark is the third important intellectual property rights in India. Trademark means a mark capable of being represented graphically and which is capable of distinguish the goods or services of one undertaking from those of other undertakings. A trademark can be a sign, words, letters, numbers, drawings, pictures, emblem, colors, or a combination of colors, shapes of goods, graphic representation or packaging, or a sound, or any combination of the above as applied to the goods or services. Next intellectual property right comes the copyright itself. The copyright is a right given by the law to the creators of literary, dramatic, musical and artistic works, and also producers of cinematograph films and sound recordings. In fact, it is a bundle of rights which includes, among others, the rights of reproduction, communication to the public, and also adaptation and translation of the work. The Department of Industrial Policy, Promotion, Ministry of Commerce and Industry are the ministries administering the IPR, and the Copyright Act of 1957 as amended is applicable for administering the laws and the rules governing the copyright aspect. Another important intellectual property right is in respect of plant variety protection. Plant variety protection is granted for plant varieties, that is, a creation of plant varieties, the rights of farmers in this regard, and the plant breeders. And this plant variety protection aims to encourage the development of new varieties of plants. And this is basically agriculture and horticulture field, which is a growing and much needed aspect of rural India. The ministry which administers this IPR is the Ministry of Agriculture, Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmer Rights Authority, and the concerned IP Act is the Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers' Rights, the Act of 2001. There are many international agreements regarding the intellectual property rights and which are adopted and are applicable to Indian situation as well. Now, India is a member of the World Trade Organization and it is committed to the agreement on trade related aspects of intellectual property. India is also a member of the World Intellectual Property Organization, which is a body responsible for the promotion of the protection of intellectual property rights throughout the world. Further, India is also a member of the many important World Intellectual Property Rights administered international treaties and conventions which are relating to the intellectual property rights. For example, the Budapest Treaty on the international recognition of the deposit of microorganisms, that is for the purpose of patent procedures, Paris Convention for the protection of industrial property convention. It established the World Intellectual Property Organization in Germany and for the protection of literary and artistic works patent cooperation treaty protocol, which relates to the Madrid Agreement concerning the international registration of marks Madrid Protocol. It is also signatory to the Washington Treaty on Intellectual Property in respect of integrated circuits. And there is also Nairobi Treaty on the protection of Olympic Symbol Convention for the protection of producers of phonograms against unauthorized duplication of their phonogram. And India is also signatory to the Marrakesh Treaty, which facilitates the access to the published works by visually impaired persons and persons with print disabilities.
Okay, so that particular video was clear, right? I mean, was it audible? Okay, thank God. So we'll do like this only from even in the next class also. We'll select some intermediate topic, then we'll discuss via a video. Okay. So this is all about today class. Okay. So let me then take your attendance. So before that, I'll just stop my recording now. Wait a second then. Okay. Today is 16. Okay. Okay, please respond to your roll call. Okay. Roll number 69. 69 born in sini hai na. 51. Roll number 51. 52. 53. Okay, am I audible? I'm not sure because please respond. Am I audible? 53. 54. 55. 56. 57. 58. 59, 60, 61,
61, yes, sir. 61.
okay, 62, 63,
Yes, sir. 63.
64, 65, 66,
Yes, sir.